안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Wednesday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-ah in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-art, K-sports, K-everything. And joining me today is our co-host Walter Lee. Hello, Walter.
Hello, Soa, and hello to our viewers at home. I'm Walter Lee, here to fill you in with the latest in K-entertainment news, so stick around.
And we're also joined by Arirang's news features reporter Byun Ye-young. Welcome, Ye-young.
Welcome, Ye-young.
Hello, Soa. Hello, Walter. Thank you for having me again. And a big happy Wednesday to our viewers. I'm Byun Ye-young, a news features reporter here at Arirang News.
So, Ye-young, I heard that you've been to an exciting exhibition.
That's right, Soa. So, have you heard of a Korean artist named Lee Bul?
Yes, she's a very celebrated contemporary artist, as far as I know. But maybe some of our global viewers might not be aware. What about you, Walter?
I'm going to be honest, no. So I did some research, but I do understand that she's a very influential artist within Korea, and she's actually one of the biggest artists in the scene right now. That's correct?
Yes, that is correct. And right now at the Lee Museum of Art in Hannam-dong, they're doing an exhibition covering the past 30 years of Lee Bul's work. And once you walk into the place, you're met with these stunning installations that will make you feel like you've stepped into some sort of an alternate reality. So let's take a look together.
Step inside, and it feels like entering another universe. A giant silver airship floats above, while a vast mirrored installation pulls visitors into a space of infinite reflections. It's disorienting, playful, and mesmerizing all at once. This is the world of Lee Bul, one of the most influential figures in Korean contemporary art. Visitors were taken in by the complexity of her work.
It's pretty amazing how complex some of the structures are, and when you walk through there's a place where there's all mirrors and you get very disorientated, so it's kind of dystopian the way that some of the pieces melt down, and it's kind of like this weird city that's almost like set in the future kind of vibes.
Glistening surfaces, fractured structures, bunkers and towers all converge into an experience that feels suspended between worlds. Through these works, Lee Bul examines shifting ties between humanity and technology, and nature and civilization, reflecting on the past and present while imagining possible futures. Lee Bul first burst onto the scene in the 1980s with radical performances, suspending her own body from ropes or parading through city streets in elaborate costumes. This brought her international recognition in the following decade, along with the nickname 여전사, or warrior woman, of Korean contemporary art. But today, she has gone far beyond that nickname.
What makes her remarkable is that she transcended labels like Korean, Asian, or female artist, and has presented a wide-ranging body of work that reflects deeply on human history and culture.
Now in her 60s, Lee Bul is recognized as one of the biggest names in Korean modern art, with exhibitions at MoMA, the Venice Biennale, and New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art.
From warrior to world-renowned visionary, Lee Bul has redefined the boundaries of modern art here in Korea. Her retrospective from 1998 to now runs here in Seoul until January before traveling overseas.
I loved all the reflective surfaces and all of the mirrors there in the exhibition.
Right, so reflection is actually a key element of Lee Bul's artistic world. All of the mirrored surfaces will bounce off one another, showing these kind of like twisted, upside down, and fragmented images of the pieces. And they actually represent the way our own world works, like how nothing stands completely alone. And the placement of the works to create a kind of landscape was intentional as well.
The works aren't arranged in chronological order. Instead, they unfold like an unpredictable allegorical landscape. There's no clear beginning, end, or center, so visitors are free to chart their own journey through the exhibition and experience the pieces in their own way.
Now, among all these sparkling and grand installations, I did notice there were some traditional-looking paintings as well. So what can you tell us about those?
Right, so those paintings are actually part of Lee Bul's more recent endeavors. Interestingly, unlike the flow of art history where paintings and sculptures were the main art mediums before performance art took the stage, Lee Bul actually started out with performances and then moved to these large-scale installations and sculptures and then later turned to paintings. So these paintings have a lot of texture and sculptural elements to them, like the rich textures and the layered surfaces, and also the use of other materials like those sparkling mother of pearl that you see in the paintings. All of these reflect her background as a sculptor.
Very interesting. And you said the exhibition runs until
Next year in January.
Okay, still lots of time
Yes.
left, so I'm going to check it out myself. And thank you very much for that wonderful coverage.
Thank you, yeah.
And as always, thank you for having me.
And time for our daily dose of K-Enter News. So Walter, to start, we've got some news on BTS's Suga, but today maybe I should say Yoon-gi.
That's correct. So yes, the new Yoon-gi Treatment Center, named after BTS member Suga's real name, has opened at Severance Hospital in Seoul. Now, the center was established with the donation of 5 billion Korean won, which is roughly around 3.6 million US dollars, that Suga made last year. Now, it will provide treatment and support for children and adolescents with autism spectrum disorder, helping them work toward social independence. Now, even while taking part in BTS's busy schedule, Suga has continued to give back to the hospital since last year. Now, he has been meeting children with autism together with Professor Chun the hospital's pediatric psychiatrist, carrying out music volunteer work.
Walter, I remember you telling us about this story months ago, so I'm
Yes.
really glad to hear that the center now actually opened.
Yes.
And the donations don't stop there either.
Yep.
Now, Suga and BTS's younger brothers, a K-pop boy group, is also spreading the love.
That's correct. Yes, the boy group Tomorrow by Together signed a global partnership agreement in New York on Tuesday local time with UNICEF headquarters and also Korean Committee for UNICEF for the global campaign Together for Tomorrow, which aims to support the mental health of children and adolescents worldwide. Now, the campaign Together for Tomorrow was designed with the purpose of fostering empathy, understanding one another without prejudice, and building a better tomorrow together. This vision aligns with the meaning of the group's name, Tomorrow by Together, which signifies different individuals uniting under one dream to create tomorrow together. Now, over the next 2 years, together with their agency, Big Hit Music, plan to donate approximately 2 billion Korean won, about 1.4 million US dollars, to UNICEF's Global Mental Health Fund.
Let's do hope for a better tomorrow.
Indeed.
And Walter, let's move on to a subunit of 17.
Yes.
And what's the latest news?
Yes, so we did talk about this. So 17 subunit S-Coups and Mingyu have made a successful debut, as I think many had predicted. Now, their first mini album, Hype Vibes, released on Monday, surpassed 600,000 copies in a single day, which marks the highest ever first day sales for an album by a K-pop unit. Now, Hype Vibes also took the #1 spot on iTunes Top Albums charts in 11 countries and regions and ranked #6 on the Worldwide Albums chart. Now, in this mini album, S-Coups and Mingyu participated in writing and also composing 6 tracks, including the main track 543, Pretty Woman, featuring Lay Banks, now expressing the many facets of everyday life through their own style and sensibility.
This was a highly anticipated debut, and I do remember how our K-pop expert Jeff Benjamin also had high expectations of this duo, so
Indeed.
let's see how they will continue to do on the charts.
Yes, let's see, indeed.
And thank you very much, Walter, for those updates.
No worries.
And now let's move on to our AI anchor Adi for more on the culture front. Adi?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. An exhibition celebrating the 100th anniversary of Seoul Station, Korea's oldest railway building, is underway at the former station building. Organized by the Culture Ministry, the exhibition highlights the station's past, present, and future with historical records, photographs, contemporary artworks, and visions for post-unification Seoul. A passage connecting the old and current Seoul Station buildings will also be open to the public for the first time during the event. Built in 1925 as Gyeongsang Station and renamed Seoul Station in 1947, the station has served as Korea's main transport and logistics hub. The exhibition runs through November 30th. The Culture Ministry, together with 22 Korean language culture centers nationwide, will hold a range of Hangul-related cultural events this month and mark Hangul Day on October 9th. Korean speaking and writing contests will be held at universities for international students, while the language centers will organize essay competitions and hands-on programs highlighting Korean proverbs and regional dialects. Separately, the Culture Ministry also plans to host exhibitions, interactive programs, and performances at Gwanghwamun Square in Seoul from November 11th to 14th to promote the excellence of Hangul. The 2025 Inje Autumn Flower Festival, a signature fall event in Injegun County, Gangwon-do Province, is in full swing, drawing visitors with the colors of autumn. The festival attracted over 16,000 people on the opening day, up roughly 16% from last year. Covering 82,800 square meters, the festival features some 500,000 wildflowers, including chrysanthemums, creeping verbena, and kokkia, along popular themed walking paths. Visitors can also take part in diverse activities like tree climbing, zip lining, relaxing in hammocks, and exploring tree houses. The festival is open daily and is free of charge through October 19th. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
It's time for the latest in the world of K-sports. From Son Heung-min's Major League Soccer action to overseas and domestic baseball. We've got it all covered by our sportscaster Jason Lee, who's joining us in the studio. Hello, Jason. Welcome back.
Hello, Sean. Hello, Walter.
It's been a while, but I do remember that we talked a lot about Son Heung-min because it hasn't been that long that he actually entered the Major League Soccer, but I think he's been on fire. Tell us the latest.
Honestly, it's pretty crazy. Just how easily he's scoring right now for the team. It is absolutely nuts. He joined the team basically a little over a month ago, and he's already second on the team in scoring right now, which is just ridiculous. And not only that, he is turning teammate Dennis Bouanga into an absolute star. I mean, fans of Tottenham will remember the chemistry that Son had with then teammate Harry Kane. Right now, Son and Bouanga are looking just as dominant in the U.S. LAFC just won their 4th straight game 3-0 over St. Louis. And the dynamic duo, they have accounted for every single one of the team's 15 goals in those 4 straight wins. Sonny with 7 of those goals. I mean, this is just absolutely ridiculous. Most of those goals, they've been assisting on each other's as well. So the chemistry has been uncanny, and both are just finishing goals with ease. I think opposing defenders and goalkeepers are just kind of scared whenever they know that they've got LAFC on the schedule.
And I hope that he's happy after his, transfer there and
Certainly
already doing so great.
A resurgence for sure.
I remember reading some pundits saying that maybe he's a bit too good for the MLS at the moment, and that he could probably have, done another season in the Premier League, maybe for a different team or even somewhere in Europe. He still definitely has the power, and like you said, he's making easy work of the MLS.
He's putting up video game numbers right now.
Exactly,
It's ridiculous.
it's ridiculous. And there isn't actually much time left in the MLS regular season. How, in your opinion, how are the LAFC doing, and what do you think their chances of winning the championship are like?
It's a good question. You got to remember, they were actually a good team before Son Heung-min joined the team. He's only been there for a month, like I said. And, it's been a while since we've had a significant Korean player in the MLS. So just to quickly break down the way it works, 18 teams do make the playoffs, 9 in each conference. And LAFC, they're currently 4th in the Western Conference. They would rank 8th overall. So they're a solid team right now. They easily will make the playoffs, and you could see them as an average playoff team, but honestly, that would be a mistake to consider them so lightly because they're 5-1 with 2 draws since adding Son Heung-min, and as I mentioned, 4 straight wins in the last 4. It probably took him a week or 2 to get accustomed to the new league, some chemistry with his teammates, also noting that, jet lag was a factor. He came in as a sub in his first game against Chicago, so a lot of different things that might have slowed down Son Heung-min in the beginning, but now that he's accustomed to the play of the league and his teammates, this team is moving full steam ahead. And I honestly would say that they probably have as good of a chance to win the championship as any of the top 4 or 5 teams right now. They're definitely not a team that any of the top teams would want to face, certainly early in the playoff system.
So Son is really in his element, and many fans of Son are now watching the MLS if they haven't even before, but
Absolutely.
now so much concentration on that.
I've noticed especially little kids wearing LAFC Son Heung-min jerseys. I've seen them everywhere. So this is even in Korea, you're seeing that the fans have recognized he's on a new team and they're supporting him there even here.
Well, they were lucky to get one of those jerseys.
Yeah, that too, actually.
Many of them are sold out.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
All right, Jason, now let's shift over to baseball, where the regular season is now over for Lee Jung-hoo and Kim Ha-sung, while Kim Hae-sung begins his pursuit of a World Series ring. So what are your assessments of the seasons for all of these guys?
Let's start with Lee Jung-hoo because he played the most out of the 3. Lee Jung-hoo hit .266 with 8 home runs, 10 stolen bases, over 150 games. Now, from a numbers standpoint, it's probably right about what experts were expecting out of him in his first full season. And one of his goals coming into the season was to play as much as possible because he'd missed significant time due to injury the past 2 seasons. So first and foremost, the fact that he was healthy all year is a win. And then I think, he showed that he belonged in the league as well. I mean, could his numbers have been better? Yeah, I think so, maybe, especially his batting average was solid, .266. But, you'd like it to be probably around .280, .290 for his abilities. Now, but the most important thing, as I mentioned, playing time. getting in as much as possible, getting comfortable with the league. I think he accomplished those, and I think he'll be looking forward to a good season next year. The one thing regarding next year, however, is that the Giants just fired their manager, Bob Melvin. So it's going to be interesting to see where his new manager, when they hire him, will play him next year, because Melvin kind of bounced him around, hitting first, second, or third, and even when he was slumping, dropped him down to 6th or 7th in the order as well. And I've always said that he is a prototypical number 2 hitter because of his contact skills, his ability to pull the ball to right field and, perhaps do a hit and run if the leadoff man gets on. So situationally, I think he's just perfect as a 2-batter. We'll see if his new manager uses him more effectively in that manner next year. Kim Ha-sung, he started the season on the injured list, and then he was eventually released by the Rays shortly after being activated, played, I think, less than a month for the Rays, and then was picked up by the Braves. So he has another year left on his contract, and the Braves do need a shortstop. So I think he's a great spot for next year. Looking back on 2025, I don't think he really played enough to really assess or to evaluate his season because, like I said, he played for maybe a month and a bit, less than 2 months. So it really shouldn't be anything that we should judge his season on, especially coming off of an injury. I think the key with him is to look forward to next year, and he's going to be a big part of a much improved Atlanta team for next year. And for Kim Ha-sung, as you mentioned, he's on the Dodgers. He's the only one still playing, and the question will be, how much will he play in the playoffs? He is on the team's playoff roster. He did not play today in the first playoff game. The Dodgers beat the Reds 10-5. He did not get in even as a sub, but he is on the roster, so we'll see if he has a moment later on. And the Dodgers are just so strong top to bottom that Kim has really struggled to get playing time, even at times when he was leading the team in batting average. But he did hit a home run in the final regular season game, his 3rd of the year, so maybe that'll leave a lasting impression on manager Dave Roberts that, he can count on him not just as a solid utility player for defensive purposes, but perhaps if he needs a power bat off the bench late in a game, he'll know that, well, hey, Kim hit a home run in his last regular season game as well, so perhaps he can trust him in that regards. As for next season, Michael Conforto and Max Muncy will probably be gone, so it's possible that Kim could earn some more playing time going into next season, although the Dodgers are notorious for signing big-name free agents in the offseason as well, so we'll have to see if that affects his playing time for next season.
All right.
Excellent. And let's bring it home to the KBO, where we've had an amazing season for the KBO. We've had record number attendances, right? Absolutely. Again.
Yeah.
Every year it seems to get bigger and bigger. But it looks like there will be still some significant games coming up as we go right down to the wire. Is that correct?
Isn't it so much more fun when baseball goes right down to the wire, bottom of the 9th inning, games still matter in September, October? I mean, some of the very most important games are lined up actually for tonight and possibly Friday as well. So the LG Twins, they could have locked up first place and a bye all the way into the Korean series, but they lost to the second place Hanwha Eagles 7-3 on Monday. Now, LG could have again clinched first last night, but they lost to Seoul rivals Doosan 6-0, while again second place Hanwha outlasted Lotte 1-0 in an extra inning game. So what does this all mean? LG will have a 3rd opportunity at the regular season title tonight when they host NC. A win in that game or a Hanwha loss against the SSG Landers would lock up first for LG. And even if they still aren't able to clinch the title tonight, well, Hanwha would again have to win on Friday night against KT just to force a playoff for first place. So It is a long shot if you're a Hanwha fan, but hey, they've dodged a few bullets already, so who knows? Maybe this will go right down to the wire. We'll have to wait and see, but certainly very, very dramatic. The other race of note is that NC beat KT 9-4 last night, and that puts those two teams in a tie for the fifth and final playoff spot right now, with 2 games remaining for both those teams. The win for NC was their 7th in a row. So they've definitely been the hotter of the 2 teams. So, we'll see how that works out. But the other 2 teams locked in for the postseason right now is 3rd place SSG and 4th place Samsung. So, yeah, definitely tonight. There's another 1 game tomorrow that's kind of meaningless, but Friday and tonight, a lot of very important, you could say, postseason-like games set up to end the regular season.
Yes, very important and significant games. And thank you, Jason, for all of the updates. And see you next time.
Thank you, Jason.
Look forward.
And thank you, Walter. As always, we're going to see you back here next time as well.
See you next time.
And thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Please join us again tomorrow on Thursday at 2 p.m. Korea time, and maybe one day here in Korea.